Hello, everyone. A very logical day to all of you. Seeing the editorial today, you might have felt that yes, you have read something about it. Yes, the Northeast part, the Northeast promise is something that you have been reading for the last, say, around 8 to 10 days back. Right. So, this is the objective of our sessions that when you read such articles, you'll be able to relate to them. You'll be able to recall that, yes, you have read something on this matter. And therefore, reading different genres is very important. Whether it is science or it is a contemporary passage or it is based on politics or it is history or whatever it is, you will get accustomed to the different terms, the different terminology, the jargon that is used, all this, and you'll feel that yes, you are improving in your vocabulary, and that is what matters. We need to read so that we are able to become familiar with the words. So let's see what we have here today in this Northeast promise. As always, we'll be coming up with a reading, plus we'll be discussing the central idea or the main idea simultaneously, and then we'll come up with a vocabulary section. So, Neofirio, Conrad Sangma, and Malak Saha were sworn in as chief ministers of Nagaland, Meghalaya, and Tripura, respectively, earlier this week. All three were incumbent CMs, and the return to office in its best version promises stability in government and continuity in policies. That means what? These were the chief ministers who had been uh, working in their states on certain policies with a certain mindset, with a certain thought process. Coming back to the office means they'll be doing or continuing with the same policies so that the states become more stable. The presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the swearing-in programs, the BJP retained office in Agartala and is a part of governments in Shillong and Kohima, sends out a message that the centre is investing in addressing the complex challenges faced by these border states. The BJP's central leadership has focused on these pole arena to expand its footprint in a region where it had a nominal presence until recently. Now, the otherwise diverse region has in common the presence of insurgencies, which had forced previous governments to adopt security-centric policies. This is APSPA, for instance, was a product of this environment. So, the policies that the earlier governments had followed was security-centric policies. Now, what the governments can do would be, let us see, they are building on their infrastructure and all. So, this was a product of the environment. This is poised to change with many of the insurgent groups signing peace treaty in the recent years. Now, if the conditions have changed, definitely the government will be able to perform better and in a different direction. So, earlier it was a security centric policy, now it could be changed. Why? Because the insurgent groups have signed a peace treaty in the recent years. The government has backed the peace efforts with a push for infrastructure projects. More roads, railway lines, airports, and bridges are being built to connect the region with the rest of India. The closure in the Naga peace talks and eastern districts are essential to take forward the Act East policies. That means these are the peace treaties that are signed, right? And what is to be done, also that is given. Both these issues have been flagged as priorities by the government. Flagged again is highlighted. I think so. We are doing this word for the fifth or the sixth time. In the editorials, no? The center had withdrawn ASPA from several districts in Nagaland ahead of polls and promised the same in the rest of the state. Another long-standing complaint, the absence of women legislatures, has been addressed with the election of two MLAs, with one of them joining the Rio cabinet. Tripura's indigenous groups have their own set of identity concerns, which the Tripura Motha championed successfully in the election. Union Home Minister Amit Shah's attempt to start a conversation with the Motha on this subject is a welcome start. So, in this particular paragraph, they are giving you about one, the point that yes, it is all set or poised to come up with something concrete, to do something for the for making the states, the respective states, better. Why? Reason given was that up till now, what they had done was a security centric policy. Now they are coming up with the infrastructure centric policies, right? Whatever issues were given there in this, in the middle of this paragraph, has been taken care of, or rather, they are focusing on the issues, they have been highlighted. At the same time, the blurring of lines between the parties of the government and opposition is a disquieting trend in the region. Right? Blurring, that means dimming. Blur is to dim. Nagaland is poised to be an assembly since parties that fought the NDPP BJP coalition, among them NCP and JDU, have pledged support to the latter. In Meghalaya, Conrad Sangma's National People's Party and the BJP were partners in government but had an acrimonious breakup before elections. So, as after the results were announced, both were back in the same tent. Other parties that fought the NPP and BJP, including the UDP, the second largest party in the House, too, have declared support for the Sangma government. This winner takes all approach is likely to diminish the opposition. And in the long run, even the ruling party coalition, unchecked power breeds hubris. That means, see, if the parties are combining, they are uniting. So अगर winner है, तो उसके साथ जो छोटी छोटी parties हैं, they are coming up. Right? They are being joined there. What about the opposition then? The opposition will actually become weak. एंड इफ द विनर हैव इट ऑल एटीट्यूड जो चलेगा, जो इसे क्या लिखा है यहाँ पे, विनर टेक्स ऑल अप्रोच जो है, राइट? सो दिस इज गोइंग टू क्रिएट more confidence, not in a positive manner, but yes, that will be overconfidence in the winners, right? So if the opposition becomes weak, the winner takes it all or gets it all attitude or approach जो है, तो फिर इससे वो जो winner है वो ज्यादा overconfident हो जाएगा. That is called hubris. So in the long run, even the ruling party or coalition, unchecked power breeds hubris. This is what you need to understand. It could also breed cynicism among voters, which is not a good portent. ठीक है, अगर वोटर cynic बन गए, मतलब पार्टी में ये लोग इतने जुड़ के, या अलायंस है, कोलिशन है, ठीक है, अगर कोलिशन गवर्नमेंट है तो ओके, व्हाट कैन वी डू एज वोटर्स? बिकॉज जिसको भी वोट करेंगे एंड में तो वही होगा जो कि विनर चाहता है, राइट? एंड दिस इज नॉट गुड साइन. गुड पोटेंट का मीनिंग आ जाता है आपके पास साइन, समथिंग दैट इज एन इंडिकेटर. सो इफ वी कम अप विद द main idea, he says, okay, fine, the CM's coming back to the rule, it's to the office, it's a very good thing. Now what will they be able to do? They will be able to focus a little more on the infrastructure development for the state that is required, because up till now it was a security centric policies that they were following, right? Then in the second paragraph he came up with this, the treaties that were being signed or the issues that were there in front of uh, the government now, and the issue that they were flagging, right, was this, what did they mark here? Their own set of identity concerns, these people, and absence of the women legislatures. This was so. So this is being taken care of. That means the party, the winner is there focusing on these issues. It's okay. What the author says now in the end is that, see, if it is a winner, then the rest of the parties are also leaving the opposition, the rest of the parties are also joining up with him. So that is the ruling party or the coalition party. And if there are so many in the coalition party, then the opposition becomes weaker. And if it becomes weaker, the winner becomes overconfident. That is it. So the author is actually giving you a little hint of suggestion कि ऐसा नहीं होगा. Why? Because cynicism, अगर voters cynic हो जाते हैं, so then it is not a good sign for the government there. Otherwise, coming back of the CMs will be a positive thing. bringing stability in the government. So let's see what we have. Continuity, that is stability. It can address the infrastructure. Yes, we had discussed this in the second para. Governance, challenges. Challenges was given there in the third. So winner takes all politics raises questions. मतलब ये सही भी है या नहीं? That is the point or the main idea of the author there. So let's see what we have in the vocabulary part. Incumbent, if you can understand this word, एक word होता है cumbersome. Right? Cumbersome is a burden. Right? It's a load, a burden taken. Now, if you relate this word incumbent with the person who is taking the burden, that means a person who is the existing office bearer, obligatory, मतलब ये तो काम उसे करना ही है, तो जिसके ऊपर पूरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, वो इनकम्बेंट हो जाता है. Then insurgent. Insurgent means we have done this word, I think so, a few days back, only 4 to 5 days back. That is the rebel or the uprising, the people who revolt. Flagged, we have done many times, selected, marked, highlighted, indigenous. And if you remember, I had given you the other meaning of flagged also. Or concentration flagging wala, I usually give the example, and that means another word is weakening, enervating. Even this is the meaning of the word flagging, enervating, right? Emaciating. Emaciating, enervating, exhausting, weakening, tiring, ये भी meaning हो जाता है flagging का. His energy flagged. ठीक है, ये एक और मीनिंग है. इंडिजीनियस में इंडी वर्ड आ जाता है, इंडिया आ जाता है, तो हम उससे समझ सकते हैं, पर इंडिजीनियस किसी के लिए भी होगा. तो इंडिजीनियस मेनली कम्स अप विथ इंडस्ट्रीज, राइट? सो इट इज नेटिव, एबोरिजिन और डोमेस्टिक. इंडिजीनियस प्रॉब्लम्स हो सकते हैं, इंडिजीनियस इंडस्ट्रीज होती है मेनली. चैंपियन, चैंपियन तो पर्सन होता है, but championed as a verb would be supported, defended or promoted. Advocated you can write. Champion the cause of, है ना? तो जिस चीज को, जिस cause के लिए हमने कुछ काम किया है, so we are the champion of the cause. Disquieting, of course, जहाँ पे शांति नहीं है, quietness नहीं है, so that is a disquieting and hence it is alarming or disturbing. Poise को you can relate it to pose. Related, that doesn't mean I'm giving you the meaning for it. So it is maintain your poise is composure, controlled means calm. ठीक है, इससे एक वर्ड याद आ जाता है equipoise. Equipoise means where you are calm and composed in the sense that even if it is a favorable condition, you're not extremely happy, and if it is an unfavorable condition that you're facing, you're not extremely sad also. So you maintain your poise. That is calm and composed. Acrimonious, of course, you can relate it to the word acrid. ठीक है, ACR is a negative connotation, something that is very sharp and bad. A negatively sharp होता है, जो pungent होता है वो. ठीक है, so acrimonious attitude, acrimonious remarks हो सकते हैं. That is hostile, rancorous and spiteful. Right? You can use the word cruel, you can use the word bitter. ये सब simple words हैं. ठीक है, rancorous और spiteful लिख सकते हो अगर नहीं लिखा है तुमने तो. Otherwise acrimonious, acrid से relate कर सकते हैं. That is the base word. The root word is ACR and this is the basic word that we can understand. Hubris is overconfidence. Potent is to indicate. ठीक है, पहले से ही बता देना कि कुछ गलत होने वाला है, उसे presage कहते हैं, prescient कह सकते हैं. Or mainly because it is negative, it is called foreboding. Right? So that's all for today. You still have to read other articles too. This is only one that I'm discussing, but any day I'll come up with another, a second one also along with the first one, because if you have gone through the previous article discussion also, then you'll see that you can get a repetition of words, and when you read, those words will seem familiar to it. to you. So basic हमारे पास दो चीजें करनी होती है. Understand the intention. One, the author's ideas that is conveyed, you need to extract that. Second, you need to only work on your vocabulary. It is not about rote learning your vocabulary. It's not about cramming the words. It's only about understanding the words in the contextual way, how they are being used by the author, and you'll be able to understand them and then recall them also later whenever you come across them again. Right? So that's all for today. Have a logical day ahead and a logical weekend also from tomorrow. Thank you.